Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is going to be all about my favourite OTPs, one true pairings. Obviously it fits with my theme of Valentine's and romance this week. And these couples that I have picked, obviously every book you'll ever read probably will have romance in some form within it. So there are so many that I could have chosen from, but the ones I'm going to talk about with you today are ones that fit my definition and my understanding of what a good OTP really is. And that is two people who probably have different interests and different personalities, but they are ultimately the same. They complement each other and they offer each other something that they don't get in their own lives, or something that just makes them a better, more diverse, more open-minded person. So whether that be introduce them to a new perspective, introduce them to a new world, introduce them to just something that they didn't have before, that's what I think makes a good OTP. Not just in books, not just in fiction, not just in films, but also in real life. So I'm going to get right on into it. The first couple that I want to talk about is my favourite Harry Potter OTP, and it is Tonks and Lupin. I know that they are ultimately side characters to the main events and the main story arc of Harry Potter, but to me they are the most realistic long-term couple in the series. Tonks is this very bubbly, very extroverted, very funny, typical Hufflepuff girl, whereas Lupin is quite quiet and reserved and intellectual, and I feel that he grounds her and obviously ultimately is the guy for her. And I think that that is what makes a real solid couple. They have the same end goal, but they bring each other something new and something fresh, and that is why Tonks and Lupin are my favourite OTP. The next one I have to talk about is from my favourite classic, and that is the story of Cathy and Heathcliff. Wuthering Heights has been referenced in so many YA books, and I think it's because it's the ultimate classic story of doomed young love. And when you're young and in love, you probably know that the person you meet when you're 16 is probably not going to be the person that you end up with as an adult. I mean, it might be, but chances are that it's not going to be. And I think Wuthering Heights teaches you that. And obviously it's a tragic story, but it is a story about true love, and it's a story of true love conquering all, everything, even love is stronger than death even. And although it's a story of two people who ultimately cannot be together in life, there is the kind of thing at the end that they are together in death. And you know, who would not want to be happy and at peace and with the people you truly, truly love at the end of your life? That's ultimately what Wuthering Heights gives me. It's an absolutely amazing story. Cannot recommend Wuthering Heights enough to anyone who hasn't read it. Yeah, Cathy and Heathcliff are just the ultimate classic OTP for me. The next one I have to talk about is Lola and Cricket from Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. This is my least favourite of the three Stephanie Perkins Anna and the French Kiss books, but Lola and Cricket are my favourite couple because I think they are the most likely to go the distance. I know for a lot of people it's probably Anna and Etienne, or maybe even Isla and Josh, but for me it's Lola and Cricket because, again, they're different people. Lola is the eccentric, wacky fashion designer, whereas Cricket is the very methodical, scientific inventor guy. So they're very, very different, but obviously they're attracted to each other, and they come together at a time where neither of them are in very, very good places. Lola is in a relationship that she really shouldn't be in, really, and Cricket is living in the shadow of his twin sister, who is an Olympic figure skater, and he kind of has to come out of himself in order to be a success and to be noticed by his family and everyone. And I feel that Lola brings that out of him, and in turn Cricket kind of brings her into a more sensible relationship for her, and that's why I think they're perfect for each other, because they complement each other and yeah, they offer each other something that they didn't have. So Lola and Cricket. The next one, you know I love this book and therefore you know I love this couple, is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. again, it's a story of doomed young love. But what I love about Eleanor and Park is, particularly Eleanor, she's so self-aware. She knows that they're probably not going to be together forever. And I love that whole realness about them, because even though she loves Park so incredibly much, she's aware throughout the whole book that their time is limited. And although that's probably like a depressive thought, you would think, and there are reasons in this book that I can't say for fear of spoilers why she thinks that, but at the same time it's true. It really is. I don't mean to, people watching this thinking, oh, I've been with my boyfriend since I was 16, we're going to be together forever. Yeah, you might be, as I said, but for most people that's not the case. So yeah, as I said, it's self-aware young love. Also, Eleanor and Park are from totally different worlds. They've got totally different backgrounds, and they introduce each other to this new perspective, these new interests, these new way of life, and so they offer each other something that's different and something that they didn't have before, and ultimately makes both of them better, richer, more diverse people. So yeah. The next one I have is Hazel and Gus from The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Again, another tragic love story, but Gus is Hazel's hope at a time where she feels she hasn't got any. Again, Gus is a very extroverted, friendly guy, whereas Hazel is quite quiet and bookish. But they come together, and he gives her so much in what they think may be her final days, and obviously that is incredible for young lovers. They have death hanging over them the whole entire time, and yet they just enjoy their lives together, because they know that they won't be together forever, because they don't have forever. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome, and it's just an amazing coupling, I think. So yeah. The next one I have is probably going to be held up for question and contention by some people, but my OTP for the Throne of Glass series is Selena and KO Westfall, because Selena is the beautiful badass assassin who's pretty much always the centre of attention, whereas KO is the strong, silent, very loyal guard, and I think that is what Selena needs. She doesn't need the very, very nice and loyal, but ultimately not really for her, Prince Dorian, and she doesn't really need the wonderful, attractive, amazing Rowan, because I feel that he's not really got enough substance, I don't think, for Selena. I mean, he's attractive, but I don't really think he's got much else, to be honest. I mean, sorry to Rowan fans, but yeah. So I think Selena needs somebody like Hale, who's always going to be there for her, who will always love her despite all of her flaws and all of her sassiness. I think Kale is the one to really be able to handle all of that forever. So Selena and Kale are my Throne of Glass OTP. And the last one, I've just realised, is quite another tragic story, but love is tragic. Love, you can't really have a love story without some tragedy or overcoming some adversity. It would be boring, right, if everything was smooth sailing, and also really unrealistic. So the last one that I have to talk about is Jon Snow and Ygritte in A Song of Ice and Fire. Again, they come from different worlds. Jon Snow is obviously the illegitimate son of Ned Stark, and Ygritte is a young wildling girl, and they're not supposed to fall in love. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation, because Jon Snow is part of the Night's Watch and he's supposed to fight and stop the wildlings from crossing the wall. But he meets Ygritte, and they actually meet when he's about to kill her, and for some reason that he can't explain at the time, he stops, and he sees Ygritte, a wildling, as a human, and therefore it changes his whole perspective. And obviously that's really, really important, because he has become a man. He has become a man who knows love, and he ultimately then sees the wildlings as people, not just creatures that he needs to fight. So Ygritte does that for him, and that's why I think they're a great, great couple. They were supposed to meet and fall in love. So yeah, Jon Snow and Ygritte. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. These are my favourite OTPs. Let me know who your favourite OTPs are. And on the blog today, I have my bookish Woman Crush Wednesday, so I will leave that link down below. I will also leave all of my social media down below so we can chat. And I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.